of hygiene products. Ladies, please. One at a time. I know I smell like Luigi.
Mario has a colorful past when it comes to big screen appearances. Ew! In 2023, the Super Mario Bros. Movie was released, and honestly, it was pretty good. It didn't have a deep story, and it was filled to the brim with Nintendo references, so my baby brain could go, "Holy crap, a balloon fight car wash?" But realistically, at the end of the day, the movie is decent. If you're a Mario fan, yeah, it's almost the perfect adaptation, but if you're not, then it's alright. But the critics hated this movie. Some of these people treat the movie like it killed their third born and was about to strike again. It didn't matter, it grossed over $1 billion. Yeah, regardless of how much critics hated fun, the movie sold like crazy, which then went on to dictate the following year of Mario releases, and of course, there was another movie on the horizon. And sure enough, not too long later, the Super Mario Galaxy movie was announced. Now that's a pretty big jump for a second movie. And that's not saying we need a Super Mario Land movie in between, but it's like Galaxy is one of the best video games of all time. The game is filled with incredible stage design, soothing atmospheric environments, and oh so beautiful music. And in my opinion, it is the best video game of all time. So jumping directly to that, you have some big shoes to fill. And they don't even get close. I love the Super Mario Galaxy games. They're some of my favorite games of all time, so I bought my tickets day one and went in all excited to see my favorite locations, characters, and story beats from the game. Like, of course the Lumas weren't going to sacrifice themselves to save the universe, and I didn't think Rosalina's backstory was going to be deep at all. I was expecting a fun adventure that takes Mario soaring through space, visiting some of my favorite galaxies from the game to find and take down Bowser Jr., all while Rosalina guides Mario through his adventure. A pure, easy, simple plot that would have satisfied my Galaxy needs. If you want to enjoy the movie, you cannot go in with these expectations. You aren't going to get that much Galaxy content, and of the Galaxy content you do get, most of it's far from what it is in the games. If you want to have fun with this movie, go in thinking it's called the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2. You'll have a better time with it. We'll dive deeper into the Galaxy content later. As for now, let me review it if it was just any other movie. This movie is a film critic's worst nightmare, which you can see come into fruition with all the review scores. The story is basically non-existent. You can take any character out of the movie and realistically it doesn't change. And if you know nothing about the Mario franchise, this movie is not for you. There really isn't a plot. Characters are just forced into scenarios as the movie pushes its way through. And it hits the ground running and doesn't stop until the credits roll. Just like the previous movie, the pacing is fast. But unlike the previous movie, it feels like it's running at double the speed. There is no character development or growth anywhere here, and some prominent characters from the first one get sidelined like crazy. It's not exactly hard to follow what's going on in the movie, but it really is just a collection of action events happening one after another. So if it's such a mess, it makes sense why the critics hate it. Then why do the fans adore this movie? Well, just like the first one, it's a movie that is so unapologetically Mario, which means it doesn't need a heavy plot, it doesn't need big character motivations or growth, it just needs to be a fun adventure from point A to point B. It is packed full of Nintendo eye candy, which I see a lot of people trashing online, but I like to point out funny little Nintendo references that make me happy. And as a Mario fan, they do go to a handful of Mario environments that you'll know and love. Seeing these characters interact on the big screen is always a treat of its own, too. But as a massive Mario fan and a guy who hates movies, I loved the first Super Mario Bros. Movie. I enjoyed the Mario Galaxy movie, but I know it's definitely worse than the first one. So for my spoiler-free review, yes, the Super Mario Galaxy movie has its issues. It's clunky, fast-paced, and kinda directionless, but it's packed with amazing fight scenes, great Nintendo references, and a wonderful soundtrack. It's basically the first movie again, but just less grounded this time, which does make it worse in my opinion. But if you enjoyed the first movie, then yeah, you're definitely gonna have a good time watching this one. And don't worry, you can heighten your experience by picking up the $50 Yoshi popcorn bucket. Yep. $50. Now, I'll dive a little deeper in some of the news stuff. Yoshi, Rosalina, and Bowser Jr. are the big new characters here. Yoshi literally exists the whole movie, and Rosalina gets 5 minutes of screen time. Yeah, don't get too excited for these two. Rosalina gets kidnapped within 5 minutes, and we don't really see her until the end. As for Yoshi, yeah, he's there the entire movie. He doesn't impact a thing, but he's there. Now, Bowser Jr., on the other hand, he's the real standout here. I think they wrote him incredibly well. Yeah, his voice takes some getting used to, but his father-son relationship with Bowser is the height of this movie. He's funny and threatening, and I'm excited to see more of him in the future. I will say, for something that's a Super Mario Galaxy movie, why does Fox McCloud get more screen time than Rosalina? Before the film premiered, they released a poster for him, so obviously he was going to be more than just a reference, and he very much is more than just a reference here, but he's kind of funny. I don't know. It's weird that he gets so much screen time here. The best parts of the movie take place before they even get to space. And honestly, just like the first movie, anytime Mario and Luigi are just doing things together, whether it be in Brooklyn like in the first one or now in the Mushroom Kingdom, it's everything I want to see from a Mario movie. And I'll throw out the obvious. The animation is gorgeous and the music is incredible. But without getting into spoilers, I will say they do something so incredibly dumb with these two characters. I won't get into what it is, but it's something that feels straight out of a fan fiction and never happens in the games for good reason. And as I said before, the best parts of the movie happen before they get into space, because once they get into space, a lot of unnecessary stuff happens. Like, they go to the Cascade Kingdom from Mario Odyssey, but now it's a planet, and Mario and Luigi are turned into babies during this scene for some reason. It's a 15-minute segment that doesn't impact the plot at all. It could be removed from the movie and it wouldn't change. But then the movie builds back up with some amazing final fight scenes that are all completely ruined by these two. You'll know what I mean when you see it. But yeah, I enjoyed the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I would give it a solid 6 out of 10. I have my issues with it because I wanted to see more Galaxy-related content, but I'm not gonna lie, it's still a fun movie. It's funny, entertaining, and gorgeous, which is honestly all you really want from a Super Mario Bros. Movie. I will say with full confidence, though, unlike the first one, if you're not a Mario fan, you're not gonna like this movie. It's not a cinematic masterpiece, but it's a fun Mario time. But there's one more thing I want to talk about. This was the big release for Super Mario's 40th anniversary. Nintendo really locked everything in on this movie, which in my opinion is why Mario's 40th was rather lackluster. I love the Galaxy games, but the real only anniversary stuff we got this year was a $70 port of Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 and Mario Tennis Fever, but I refuse to believe that last one was a 40th anniversary title. That's just more of a happenstance that it came out this year. And with the movie being decent, it kind of solidifies Mario's Big 40 as rather boring. This highlights something I'm worried about for the future. Nintendo's been pushing their games aside for the last couple of years to take their IPs into different forms of media, which is why we're getting things like these movies and theme parks. And that's not to say I don't like Super Nintendo World or the Mario movies, but it's starting to impact the games, which is the last thing it should do in my opinion. Mario's 40th was incredibly dull due to the Mario Galaxy movie's release, and that's a scary thought for the future. Not as scary as a $50 popcorn bucket though.